In this video, I'm going to show you how to find these exact types of products that are now increasing in prices and decreasing in sellers from your own inventory. So this is going to be the ability for you to take your old products and you're going to find the best ones that are currently selling more now, that higher prices with less competition. The great part about this is, again, it's going to be based on your own products. So you already have a supplier for these items. You already know where you can go purchase these. And so this is a great way to refresh your Amazon inventory that you're looking to purchase and send in that are profitable, that you already have a supplier for, and that has less competition currently. So let's get into it. Now, if you're somebody that's looking to do this and way more, I have a program. It's called the Evergreen Sourcing System Program with over 70 standard operating procedures that you can start to apply into your business today. You can check out my offer for that at askjimmysmith.com/evergreen at the link below and in the description. So let's set the stage here. Right now, I've taken a random seller ID because I wanted to just use it as a random person, a random seller out there. So I apologize if this is you, but I took this seller ID because I want to show you the power of this. Right now, if I go into the Keepa Data Product Finder and I input a seller ID, let's just pretend this was yours, okay? Because this is the whole point of it, is you want to do this with your own storefront. So that way you already have supplier links for these products. So that way you can go purchase these because they may be prime opportunities for you to buy right now. But I had to take a random seller ID, obviously. And so with this, right now, this seller currently has 171 products being sold on their storefront. If I go here and I click on include historical offers on Keepa, I can now see there are 1,113 products that this seller has sold in their entire history of selling on Amazon. So this is a great way to do some excellent competitor analysis as well. But for the purposes of this video, you want to do this with your own storefront because you can go and find very prime opportunities that you already have a supplier for and know where to buy these things profitably. So let's go ahead and take this as the basis. So right now there's 1,113 total products that we're going to be sourcing from. Now I've already put in different parameters into Keepa that's going to allow us to pull out these best items from our current storefront. So let's take a look at those different filters that I put in, and then we'll get into some of the results as well. Now in these filters from the Keepa Data Product Finder, I put in a buy box filter that is actually a 90-day drop percentage. I didn't put a minimum price or anything because I don't care about that. I just want to see products that are increasing in price over the last 90 days. And so I did -500 to -10. That means there's a 10% price increase up to a 500% price increase. I did a fairly wide range, so that way I can pull back as many products as possible. If you don't mind, if it's a 5% increase, well, then you would put -5 here in the 2 column. So again, this is something that I fully cover on different YouTube videos as well as my Evergreen program, but this is an important factor to pull back items that are increasing in their sales price. Now, the next thing I did was Amazon out of stock. Now, I did this just for the purposes of this video. A lot of times sellers don't want to compete with Amazon. If you're willing to compete with Amazon, then you can leave this off. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to filter down the results even further. Now, the next thing is the new offer count. So there's 2 things under the new offer count that I put in as a parameter here. One is the 90-day average. I did 3. So I want to see that there were at least an average of 3 sellers over the last 90 days on these listings, but I didn't do anything for the current or for the 30-day average, because if these products are increasing in prices and decreasing in sellers, then there may only be 1 seller on there now. And I didn't want to limit that opportunity, but I did want to see that there was at least a 90-day average of 3 sellers or more. Now, additionally, under the new offer count, I came over here and I looked for a drop percentage from 1 to 99. So basically the widest percentage that you can get on Keepa. And so this is a positive percentage because I want to see sellers that are dropping off of the listing. If I did a negative number here, then I would see sellers that are increasing on listings. And so that's why I use these drop percentages. And you'll see that reflected in the results as we go through this. Additionally, I did utilize the same exact seller ID that I just showed you, and I included these historical offers. Now, again, as a reminder, on this other page, you can see there were 1,113 products just total for the seller ID that I put in there. And if I were to look at this, right now we have 36 products on this seller ID that meet those other criteria with increasing prices, with no Amazon on the listing, with decreasing amounts of sellers. And so this is powerful. If you were to run this for your own storefront, then you could easily pull back items that you can go and buy because you already have a supplier for it and send it into Amazon as long as it's still profitable. You need to do that analysis. Now, if I were to remove this include historical offers and just look at things that this seller is currently selling, let's see what the results actually are. So 3 products. So whenever I include historical offers, I go from 3 products that are currently being sold on this storefront up to 36 products that are, 35 products that are currently being sold on this storefront. I don't know why that changed. I'm pretty sure it was 36 before. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at these products. So you saw one of them at the start of it. I believe that one was right down here someplace. decrease. But let's just take a look at some of the random ones as well. Let me see where that one went. It may have been the one that fell off for some reason. But let's take a look at these. So this is the Twinings decaf green tea. I didn't pre-vet some of these. You can see though that the amount of sellers have started to decrease a little bit over the last couple months. The price has gone from, it looks like 625 FBA up to 879 FBA. So this is a potential opportunity. It may be a little bit too cheap for us. You can see this thing sells really well, right? Additionally, if I were to go to this next one, this is acne pads. It looks like, it does look like Amazon's pretty heavily on this. So I would probably, unless you're comfortable competing with Amazon, I would probably avoid that just because it's so different. And it's also pretty low price. Now, if you wanted to remove those low prices, you could have added that into the buy box parameter inside of the Keepa Data Product Finder and just say, I want a minimum price of $15 or a minimum price of whatever you're comfortable with. Let's take a look at this next one. This is Bob's Red Mill. Again, if you're able to sell this product, then you can see the sellers have slowly started to decrease. It's nothing heavy, but the price, because of that, has slowly started to increase as well. So this could bring about another opportunity for you depending on where your pricing needs to be. Now let's take a look for something that's a little bit more dramatic. If I'm going to hover over some of these different products down there in the corner, this is looks like it's more dramatic in terms of price increase. So this particular product here went from, it looks like it was averaging about 659, 660, and it went up to now just over $12. Okay. And it seems to be fluctuating up there. And the amount of sales, instead of it being around 700 per month, is currently up over 1,000 per month. So even though the price has gone up, the amount of sales have gone up as well. Additionally, you can see the seller count has slowly dropped. So if you have a supplier for this and you can go buy this, I would definitely go take a look at it. Now, this is also something I'm not evaluating the quality of these listings to see if I would actually buy them. You know, maybe there's a mismatched brand or something that you used to be selling on. Definitely check for the quality of the listings before you send them in. Also check on the profitability. But from a standpoint of these Keepa charts, looking at your old products that you used to sell at a profitable point and seeing that now prices have gone up, competition has gone down, that is super impactful for what you can do on your own storefront. So let's take a look at another couple of these. I'm just going to try to look for some of the more dramatic ones. This one's a little bit more dramatic, it looks like, in terms of price increase. So this went from about $9 now up to $12.50. The seller count has dropped over the last few months. Again, could be a fairly good opportunity here for you to just jump on. Let's try and take a look at something that isn't Bob's Red Mill. This looks like a little bit more traditional in terms of the Keepa chart. So this has some up and down movement. That's why it pulled back. So sometimes it's down here at 1465 and other times it's up here at 1695. And so that's probably why Keepa pulled this back. The amount of sellers have kind of decreased, not by much, but they have decreased over the last month or so. So if you're comfortable with this listing, it could be a potential opportunity. But the point here is about how you can do this. If I wasn't talking on a video, I probably could have gone through all 35 of these in about 15 or 20 minutes and just picked out the best opportunities, the ones that have gone up in price enough and have a decrease in seller enough to where I can then take a look at those 10 or 15 items that then I want to see what's profitable. I want to see if my supplier still has it and if I can sell it still. And so that's something that doesn't take very long. And you may be able to find 1, 2, 3 items in just a few minutes that are good for you to sell again. And it's better to go back, get your old inventory than to try to find a bunch of new products all the time. If you're able to replenish something, then that's extremely powerful. Now, this is actually the one that I started the video with here, I believe. And so this is the Cuban Food Market Natural Herb Tea. You can see that this has started to go up in the price from $11-ish. The current FBA sellers at $21.90. The buy box is at almost 15. The seller count has started to drop. It has a very good velocity on here. And so I love this method of just being able to do this once a week, once a month, whatever you're comfortable with, to pull back items that are now selling at a much higher price point for higher profitability, potentially even selling faster than what they were before, because you would be one of a few sellers on there. You know, instead of competing on this listing with 15, you would be competing with 7 sellers. And the price, instead of it being at $19, is now up to $22.99, sells over 100 times a month. And so this is a great method to use. So I'm going to challenge you, take some time this week, just use the exact filters that I went through, and I'll go ahead and go back to those filters for you so that you can see them. Very simple to implement, simple to use. I recommend doing this regularly on your own storefront. You can also do it on other people's storefronts. The great thing about doing it with your own storefront is you may have your own parameters for what you like to purchase. And so you know that they probably met at some point some certain criteria of sales velocity, of profitability, of if you're gated or not, right? You already know that those products are ungated most likely on your account. And so that's where this can be powerful on your own storefront. Now, in terms of the active filters, just as a reminder, you can go back to the earlier part of the video, but from the buy box standpoint, I did -500 to -10. I did Amazon was out of stock. I also did 3 average new offers. And then finally the 1 to 99 for the drop percentage on the 90-day drop for the seller count. And then lastly, you want to make sure to put in your seller ID, include historical offers, and then you are good to go to at least get some good products to go through on your own storefront. Now, as a reminder, if you're interested in checking out all 70 plus SOPs that I have with different Keepa filters for different situations that you can implement into your business, you can head over to askjimmysmith.com/evergreen. Or if you're interested in being a part of a community of sellers that are growing and scaling their business, you can check out my links below for the Business Building Legends community. You can get access to everything. So if you have any questions, post them down below. Let me know if you found this helpful, and I hope this video helped you and blessed you. You have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.